Man, let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Coach Stokes from the ring to the concrete. And those of you who are my followers and listeners out there, you know that I bring you the realest and the livest people when it comes to the sport of combat sports, when it comes to boxing, Muay Thai, mixed martial arts, kickboxing, anything that involves somebody getting their ass kicked. I bring you the real deal people. Today, I'm going on a slant though. I'm bringing you somebody outside of the combat arena. And his name is Mr. Freez Luv. Freez Luv is known nationally, internationally, worldwide. Those of you that have seen him on Masterpiece Def Comedy Jam, he's been in movies like House Parties, I Got the Hookup, numerous amount of movies. But not only that though, this brother is very smart, intelligent. He's a writer. He writes a lot of jokes. He does any and everything, and also he's a motherfucking humanitarian. So what I like to say, is, welcome, Mr. Freez Luv. How you doing, Freez?
Man, I'm doing good, and I also want y'all to know that I will hurt your face and hurt your ribs with laughter, though. I'm not going to touch you, but when you come see me, when you leave, you're going to feel like you worked out. That's how I hate you. with comedy, humor.
No doubt.
So it's the last martial arts.
That's right, lab martial arts. Well, Freez, man, I like to say I'm so humble, man, and blessed that you bless, Stokes House Boxing Academy, and my podcast From the Ring to the Concrete to even speak to you, brother, because first time I saw you was back in 1997. And I think, we talked about earlier, I was deployed on a 6-month UDP over in Okinawa, Japan, and it was typhoon season during that time. So brothers was on lockdown. We didn't know what to do, and one of my boys, man, James Brooks, came inside the room. And he said, "Yo, we gonna watch this." I'm like, "Well, what is it?" Everybody passed around DVDs during that time. So he's like, "Man, yo, this is Masterpiece Def Comedy Jam." We like, "Yo, what's up? Let's get it." So he put it on. He said, "I need you to see Freez Luv." We was like, "Freez Luv." He said, "Yo, wow, he is the one." And when you came on, man, it was like, yo, they had a crew. They had a definite crew, you know what I'm saying, that was up there that evening, man. That was no joke, man. Everybody was hard. Wow. When you came out, man, you touched me, man, where it's like, yo, this dude is one of my favorite all-time comedians, man. So I just want to give you big ups, Freez. No doubt, baby.
Well, let me tell you, I'm humbled to be interviewed by you, man. I have so much respect and admiration for fighters of all kinds, warriors. I mean, I'm talking from judo, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing. I just love it. And I attribute that to my good friend, Mr. Charlie Murphy, because he was the guy that really explained to me boxing and watching boxing. And if you ever want to, man, I wish that they could give this dude some kind of a sports commentary job, because this is a guy that knows boxing inside and out. And that's Charlie Murphy, his brother Vernon, and, of course, his brother Eddie Murphy. That family, their love for boxing seeped into me. Just from being on the road with Charlie all these years, I really got into boxing and following fighters. And I respect fighters mainly because of the discipline. And I relate to it as a stand-up comedian. The boxing life and the stand-up comedy life are very much alike. You're only as good as your last fight. You're only as good as your last stage performance. So you got to stay in the gym. You got to stay in there working and being dedicated. Same with comedy. You got to stay on stage. You got to keep hitting those open micers and taking risks. Man, they may not laugh at this. Well, that's the chance you got to take, But it makes you a better comedian. Just like with boxing, the more risks you take and the more you learn, the more you get hit in the face, the better fighter you become. It's the same thing as with comedy. That's why I love boxing.
No doubt, no doubt. Freez, let's go way back, Freez. Let everybody know, and I want to know for myself, but where did the name Freez Luv come from?
Man, funny you say. Well, when I first started the entertainment business, I started as a rapper. And that was way back in 1987 is when I signed my first professional entertainment contract, and it was for Profile Records. And my name was Freez. I came up with the name. This was the early 80s. And all the rappers, you know, in order to be considered a real rapper, you had to have something cool about your name, like Ice-T, Ice Cube, you know. So that whole wanting to put something chili chill in your name, that's how I came up with Freez. And originally my name was W.C. Freez, like West Coast Freez. Now the love part came when I was in the Army. I was in an Army, and I was in Berlin. I was in the Berlin Brigade, Bravo Company, 6 and the 502nd Infantry. Ooh-wah. Anyway, we had one platoon that they called the hip-hop platoon, because it was everybody in this platoon was primarily from New York, Philly, Los Angeles, or Miami. Everybody was from a spot where hip-hop was popping. So they call us the hip-hop platoon, and everybody put love on the end of their name, because that was the thing. It was like if your name was Johnny, your name would become Johnny Love. If your name was Tony, it'd be Tony Love. My name was Freez. It became Freez Luv.
Okay.
And that name just stuck with me. So I've had the name Freez Luv literally since like 1985. And I've never changed it, because I want everyone who knew me and to know, you know, I'm from Los Angeles, man. I'm from Altadena, California, which is, you know, it's a suburb of LA, Pasadena, Altadena. So it's Southern California. And I never ever wanted to come up with a name that would disassociate me from the people I came up with. So that's why I always kept it. My real name is Paul Farmer. I love that name too, but Freez Luv is me, baby. I keep that name. No doubt.
So I understand you, Freez, man. And I forgot, please excuse me, man. But to the audience, man, big ups to Freez, because he is a military vet, and you know I'm a vet as well, man. So we look out for one another, man. This man served his country, and you know I really believe, you know, I always tell people, when you're a military vet, you deserve to say whatever the fuck you want to say.
That's how I feel, man. I put my nuts on the line for this country, man. That gives me a voice.
That's right. That's right, baby. That's right.
Big up to all the vets.
Word
Much
up.
love to and the families of the vets. The people that really got to give it up. I really give it up to all the vets families, man. You know, people don't understand. It's one thing being in the military. It's a whole other thing being married to somebody or being a child of somebody in the military. That's, you know, you didn't necessarily choose that life, but it's definitely a part of your life. So big ups and salute to all the vets' families too.
Salute. Freez, man. How did you get into comedy? Because me and boxing, I train a lot of amateurs and pros, and I always and I know you hear people, you know, ask you this all the time, like, Freez, what I need to do, man? I want to be just like you, or what I need to do to go ahead and get in that realm like you. And I tell them, like, just go to the gym, you know, keep your eyes on the prize, man. Stay focused, because everybody think, like, you know, just because you're in comedy, it's going to be glamour and glitz. You know, but they don't know the hustle you go through, man. They don't know the struggle you go through, Freez. So tell somebody in the game, man, like what you got to look forward to.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, this is the entertainment business is one of the most difficult businesses in the world, and basically because there is no rule book for the entertainment business. There's no set of guidelines that you say, hey, if you do A, B will happen, and then C will happen. And no, there's nothing like that. The entertainment business, it can go down any way. I mean, it can go down for me. You know, it's crazy because I was a rapper, and I was in the studio, and the engineer kept messing up this one take that I was trying to record. And he kept messing up, and he happened to be a dude. He was a bald-head dude wearing a toupee. So I couldn't take it anymore. I started calling him Harry Wigman. You know, and I'm like, Harry Wigman, you need to get this right. And everybody in the studio started laughing, and the guy turned off all the equipment. And he said, listen, man, I did not come to work to be chastised by a professional comedian. And one of my friends, you know, stood up and said, you see, I told you, man, you could do this professionally. You should do this professionally. You should be a professional comedian because you're tearing us up, man, and you're not regular. You're not a regular funny guy. You're beyond, man, and it's not fair. Go be a real comedian and see if you could do that. And I was like, yeah. He said, no. He said, well, let's go to the comedy store. My cousin runs it. We can get you up tonight. I said, yeah, let's go. I ain't afraid. Let's go. And we left the studio where we were doing music at, and we went up to the Comedy Store on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood, California. So I'm in there. I talked to the guy who's doing it, is a cat named Dante, who still does comedy to this day. Big ups to Dante. He said, look, man, if you want to get on, no problem. Just put your name on this list and wait. And we'll call you up, and, you'll go up tonight. I was like, okay, I will. And we waited, and finally they called me up on stage, and I did my thing, man. And after I got on stage, Eddie Griffin, a good friend of mine, but I didn't know him at the time, he says, hey, man, that was you. You were hilarious. How long you been doing this? And I said, well, this was my first time. He said, no, I don't mean comedy. I don't mean this room. I mean comedy. How long you been doing comedy? I said, this was my first time. He says, ever? I said, yeah. He says, look, I want to show you this game. I want you to be my opening night. So the next time I did comedy, it was for Eddie Griffin in Florida at Florida International University for 2,000 people. And for the next 5 years, I was Eddie Griffin's opening act on the road. He took me on national, theater level shows, like 2,000 seats and above. So I did not have that whole getting, the club level. I didn't start from there. I started like what a lot of people would consider the top. I just stepped from music directly into the top. That could be good. That would be great. But then the other side of the coin is when you're at the top and you don't know you're at the top, you can't take advantage like you're at the top. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
So I still had to keep on persevering. It was like, okay, now I'm doing theaters. I know a lot of theater promoters, but I don't have a name that draws at the box office for a theater. I have to go back to the club level. And that's what I did. And throughout this time, I've been on television. I was in the movie House Party 3. I was on a TV show, Malcolm and Eddie. I played the character Hector on that show. I was on Def Jam. I was on Master P. I got the Hook Up Comedy Jam. Been in the movie Baby Boy. All of this stuff was going on while I was doing stand-up comedy. And acting in the Hollywood world, stand-up comedy is a different world. And I didn't understand that. A lot of people don't understand that. Mm-hmm. But they're two different worlds. The stand-up, capital for stand-up comedy is New York. New York, New York. The capital for making movies is Hollywood, California. So I left Hollywood and I went to New York to really, truly immerse myself in the craft of stand-up. And that's what I did. I lived in New York. I started off on the open mics, and in a 13-year time, I went from open mics to doing shows at Caroline's on Broadway, and man, just about the Cellar and the Village and all kind of. That became my life. I did nothing but stand up, and it paid off. I moved back here to LA, and I'm doing my thing out here now. It was back with the acting, back with the stand up, of course, and doing the Corey Holcomb show and a few other things that I got up my sleeve. I'm about to drop on y'all, but I'm gonna let the build up build.
Oh man, yo, I'm a dedicated follower, baby. I think I've heard like you was in New York for like 12 or 13 years, and you met your wife over there, right?
Yes, absolutely. Met your wife, man. Best part of my life, man. Thank God for my wife.
I heard that. I mean
that. It's so hard business. Life is hard, and then you jump in this business. It's even harder. If you don't have a partner that understands and is just ride or die, it's going to be difficult. And I mean, it's difficult, but it's a lot easier because I got a ride or die woman. Thank God, man.
That's right. That's right. You flirt with the devil every day.
Yeah, man. And there's always. I mean, just with anything, man. Anything you want in life that's worth anything, it's going to take dedication. It's going to take discipline, and it's going to take you keeping your eyes on the prize. And as long as you have your eyes on the prize, there's always going to be distraction because it ain't the prize if you can't focus and keep it there. You know what I'm saying? So it takes that discipline, and you will achieve those goals. But the temptation is there. The stupid moves instead of the smart moves are always there. It's how you react, how you play off of those. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Because there's nothing but potholes out here. Potholes, booby traps.
Right.
So you gotta stay on the straight and narrow for what your goal is. That's how I look at it.
Right. Right. Let me ask you this. Talk talking about boxing and talking about comedy, because, you know, I tell a lot of people, when it comes to any other sport or any other career, I feel like nothing can match up to boxing unless it's another combat sport. But anything outside of that, I feel like either you gotta be a comedian or a battle rapper, because you brothers, man, y'all train, and you get up there, man, you can get in front of a crowd, and if that crowd not feeling you that night, you may bomb.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna, and see, that's it. I mean, it's just like in boxing. You're gonna get hit. If you think you're gonna be in a boxing match and not get hit,
right,
you're in the wrong thing. With comedy, you're gonna say some jokes that people aren't feeling. You know, you're gonna hear a helicopter. I said, "Get over it. I'm in LA, baby." They don't stop. But yeah, you're going to not hit all the time. Some days nobody's feeling you, you know, and it's like I tell people, like, being a comedian is like being a tightrope walker. You know,
right? You
got to keep balance, and you can fall at any minute. The only difference is that a tightrope walker walks across a canyon or something real way up in the air, whereas the comedian is doing a tightrope walk across maybe like 3 feet up in the air. So you may bust your ass, but you can get back up and keep going.
Got you.
And that's you know, it's I guess it's whereas a boxer, you put your body on the line, a comedian puts his ego on the line, and your ego will get beat up.
Right. And I'm glad you said that, because when you said comedy is very broad, but you got stand up, and then you got people that go to movies. Like, you see some cats that go to movies and get blow up, but when they try to come back to stand up, they never the same, right?
Yeah, well, the thing about stand up is it truly is an art form. It's a craft.
Yeah.
You know, and it's something that you truly have to learn and practice.
Yeah.
You know, it's like in boxing, you got some dudes who are sluggers. You know what I'm saying? And guys who are brawlers.
Right.
They can get in there and they can brawl, man. They can go. They're not a precision boxer. You know what I'm saying? But they can still win. But if you put a precision boxer and a hell of a brawler in a fight, that's going to be a hell of a match. Well, that's what comedy is. You got comedians and you got comics. A comic is a guy that keeps the lights on, man. He can work anywhere. He can do a 10-minute set, a 5-minute set, a 15-minute set. He's going to stay within the guidelines. He's going to do whatever the task calls for. And then you have a comedian, which is a pure artist. You know, he may not, his set may be an hour long. It may be 2 hours long. You know, the comedian is the full practice of the craft. The comic portion is getting the money. And when you can master both of them, that's when you're killing the game. But, you know, just because you're good at one does not mean you're going to be good at the other.
That's right.
It takes practice. It takes work to be good at them all.
Everybody out there that's listening right now, this man has done it both, and he's doing it. He's not doing it part-time. He's full-time. He's all in. And I think, I know for a fact, just speaking to the fighters out there that's listening, when you come up to me and ask me, you have to be all in. You got to jump in feet first, man. You have to be dedicated. You have to be dedicated.
Yes, indeed, man.
If you're not dedicated, you're going to half-ass it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the same thing. Because I'm going to tell you, you know, when you bomb in comedy, that feeling is undescribable. I can't, even whatever explanation I'm going to give you, that's not it. It's worse than that.
Freez, give us an example. Give us an example, Freez.
Huh?
Well, give us an example when you bomb, man.
Okay. I'm going to tell you, the first time I bombed, I had been doing comedy for 2 years and never bombed. I had never bombed. But I've been doing stand-up for 2 years, riffing shows. You know, stupidity, or what do they say? Ignorance is bliss.
Right.
You know, I had no idea what stand-up was until I bombed that first time. And it happened in a contest. And all I remember is I walked out on stage, and I think I said, within the first two things I said, somebody started booing. And I remember I was trying to, like, wait, you ain't even heard me yet. Boo, boo. And the feeling of trying to stop people from booing. Just how I hear. You know, it's like I don't know, like holding something that's filled with water and you're trying to keep the water in it. That's how I felt, you know, and it was to no avail, because there was so many boos that you couldn't hear what I was saying with the microphone.
Wow.
And man, that shit hit me. I didn't know that I could bomb, and it really shook me up. I was like, you know, maybe I shouldn't be doing this.
Right.
I ain't never got booed. Maybe this, and then, you know, it took me some, you know, a good hit of the blunt and a good, you know, reflection in the mirror, and it just hit me. And then I had a few people, you know, like Eddie Griffin, who saw it go down, and he was like, look, man, that's part of the game. That's where you learn. You learn from bombing. Right. And he said, now you thinking about everything you did, then, aren't you? I'm like, yeah. He says, exactly. You weren't thinking about what you did before you bombed. But once you bomb, now you think about it, don't you? I said, man, you're absolutely right. And I think the biggest thing that I suffered from was cockiness. I didn't think I could bomb. And when I did, man, it really humbled me and put me in my check. And it let me know that you could bomb at any time.
Yeah.
You, just because you're the name that everyone loves, they bought a ticket to come see you. Richard Pryor, when he filmed Live on the Sunset Strip, he had to film it twice, because the first one he bombed. He walked out, said some jokes, they wasn't feeling it, said some more, they wasn't feeling it, said some more. Then he said, hold on, y'all. Guess what? It ain't here tonight. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to pull the plug on this. I'll be back tomorrow if you want to try me again, but it's not here tonight. Mm. And that's how it is. Sometimes you just, hey, man, the lights ain't on you, baby. The lights are on you, but the comedy lights ain't on you. You know what I mean?
Right. The comedy.
And that's the same with boxing. You go take a loss.
Oh, yeah.
It's a part of the sport. But, what I always let sit in the back of my head is that you got to remember, a real champion is one that takes a loss and comes back and becomes a champion again. That's a real champion, man.
That's right.
When you take that loss and then come back.
We had talked about that, and just to piggyback what you just said, man, in boxing, it's like you can be real cocky and arrogant, or not even that. You can get complacent. It's like, you know what, I'm here,
right.
I've arrived. But then you go up against that man who drop your ass, or you get dropped, or you get embarrassed, beat you damn near half to death, and you laying up there like, damn, what the fuck was I thinking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this
right.
really for me? But then you gotta get that intestinal fortitude and dig it out and say, you know what, this is what is gonna happen. It's part of the game. And when you okay with that,
yeah.
you can realize that, then it's like, you know what, then you're product of the environment, man.
Yeah, that's true. And when I went to New York, that was another good learning field for me. I was on television already. I'd been in movies already. I had a name. People knew me walking down the street. People was signing autographs. So when I went to New York, it wasn't like I was just starting out. I had 10 years of stand-up under my belt, films and movies. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was there to conquer New York. And let me tell you, it was in the little bitty clubs in Brooklyn, and the little bitty clubs in Queens, and the little spots up in Harlem. All those places that people go that don't care about who you are, what you've done. All they want to do is laugh.
Yeah.
And that's where I had to really go back to ground one, because all the stuff I had in comedy was very relative to the West Coast in L.A. All kinds of jokes. Just cultural jokes that were very geographical, and I didn't need that. I needed jokes that made people laugh no matter where they were from.
Right.
And that's what I had to get in New York, and that's what I obtained in New York, because it's so diverse. In one night of doing stand-up in New York, you can go from an all-Caribbean room in Brooklyn, and then that same night you find yourself up in the Bronx in an all-Puerto Rican room. And that same night you might be on the west side of Manhattan in the Irish room. Mm. And you got to make all these different people laugh, because that's how you get your money, and that's what you're there to do.
Right.
So that diversity is what really led me to becoming a master stand-up. What I can consider, there's a lot of stand-ups that are stars, but they're not masters. Then there's a lot of comedians that are true masters that you don't even know of. Guys like Freddie Ricks or Kenny Williams. You know, if you follow stand-up, you know who those dudes are. I just said two legends, you know, but if you don't, the average person doesn't know those people.
Right.
Because they're so busy in the craft and getting that money and they're content, they're happy, they're good where they're at. They're not trying to be household names, they're just trying to be the best comedians they can be.
Right, right.
So
I think I heard the story, you talking about New York, is one of my favorite stories, how things changed for you. You were walking, I think you left a comedy club, it was like 3 a.m, and then, like you said, a brother was like, yo, Freez Luv, and invited you into his place.
Oh,
stand up.
Yeah. That happened in Harlem, and that was really what made me move to New York. I was out there visiting. You know, I had done some shows and all of this stuff, but it was about 3 a.m. I was walking in Harlem, up in Sugar Hill. If you know Harlem, you know where that's at.
Yeah.
Like 148, 146, up in there. And this cat, you know, it was about 3 a.m. It was snow. It was winter. This dude said, hey, you're Freez Luv. I said, yeah. He says, yo, man, you are hilarious. Yo, check this out. And he reached in his pocket and pulled out $300. He said, man, bless my stage. I said, there's a comedy club? He says, no, I got a jazz club. Wow. But it's a stage and it's $300. Go do your thing, brother.
Wow.
And I was like, man, all right. And I went in, and it was a jazz club. It wasn't even a jazz club. It was like just a restaurant, and they were playing jazz that night. But this dude was the promoter of it, and he paid me, and I just did my thing. I think I did like an hour off the dome, and I said, man, I'm staying out here. I need to be out here, and that ended up being a 13-year run.
That's love, man. That's love right there. I mean, that was all in God's will right there, man.
That's real, man. Because, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. Hollywood is great. This is my home. I'm from L.A., Southern Cali, Malibu, you know, Sunset Strip. I grew up with all of this. So it's kind of like you can't dangle that carrot in front of me. I don't get excited about going to Hills and going to parties in the Hollywood Hills or going to premieres. I did all of that. Right. I get excited about making a hardcore room be chill and quiet and listen to every single word I say and then make them laugh. You know, it's just a different goal for me. I'm not the Hollywood dude at all. I like people. I like doing comedy that uplifts people, that makes people think, that makes people feel good. That's what I'm about. That's what I'm trying to do. I want people to feel good after you leave my show.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
definitely. You really are a humble brother. Like I was telling my wife, you know, we was talking about it, and you know how I met you, and I said he's a really humble brother, man. You can tell he's the type of brother that you can put him in the middle anywhere, and he'll survive. He will survive. It ain't like he's so bougie where it's like, you know what, I forgot where I come from, this and that. I say he's still in touch with the streets. So you can see that. And then the type of cats that, well, being that you're a military vet, you already know, man, you can put us anywhere, man. We gonna make it out.
Yeah.
We gonna be fine.
That was real. I mean, 2 weeks after I graduated high school, I was in boot camp, and that was way back in 1984. And what I learned in that training, one thing that was the strangest thing that I overcame the quickest was living around so many people that are from so many different backgrounds. That's one thing that the military will do for you.
That's right.
Is it will let you see what it's like to live with people that you didn't know you could live with. And then you find out, wait a minute, man, everybody here, shit, we all piss, we all shit, we all have to shower, we all want love. We're all pretty much the same, you know?
That's right.
So it was that, you know, being in that situation that is truly, you know, I've carried throughout life. I like people, man. I like people. I believe that we have bad people everywhere and we have good people everywhere. And it's on who you choose to surround yourself with. You want to be with the bad people, they're anywhere. They're everywhere. You can find them anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be with the good people, I promise you, you can find them anywhere just as easy. It's what you're looking for, what you want to obtain. That's what you're going to get. So, yeah, I stay humble because, you know, hey, no lie, life has kicked my ass.
Right.
You know, with life, you know what I'm saying? I had a brother that I lost to suicide. You know, I've gone through divorces. You know, I haven't always been in my kids' life like I wanted to be. You know, I've been through the court system. I've been locked up.
Yeah.
You know, I've been out there. You know, life is thrown some buttes, and I thank God that none of them have taken me out. And what they say is the truth. What don't kill you makes you stronger. Okay. So I come to be strengthened like everyone else. We're all here. We're gonna get stronger. We're gonna be out of here.
Freez, man, I can talk to you all day, man. I'm gonna wrap these questions. I'm serious, man. I'm gonna wrap these questions up, but I want to ask you some important questions that I feel, man. Since you have started comedy, what have you done differently to change from when you first started, man?
One thing I've done differently is I used to really get upset and worry about people stealing my jokes and taking my persona or taking my ideas. You know, you really used to irk me. And I think it's because, you know, I'm from the hip-hop realm, and I'm from the era and the time in hip-hop where, you know, stealing somebody's rhymes or somebody's beats was just unheard of. It was all about being an individual and being creative, and that's how you keep the culture growing.
Right.
And I feel the same way with comedy. I still feel that, you know, comedians shouldn't lean on other comedians' jokes or steal other comedians' jokes, or, you know, but there's no way to avoid that. So now I don't really concern myself with what these guys are taking from me, or that doesn't even, I don't even focus on that. I constantly focus on trying to be new and original and current. And as long as I've been doing that, I've had success. People can't steal from me. They by the time they've taken the joke, I've already got 10 new jokes. Mm-hmm. So you can have that old shit, and you're gonna look like somebody with old jokes.
I heard that, baby. I heard that. Out of all the comedians, you know, in the business, man, who are some of your personal favorites? Some that you highly respect?
Man, first, I'm going to be honest, and this may sound like some bullshit, but it's not. I truly, truly, truly have respect and love for every single comedian. Everybody that picks up that mic and says they're going to be a comedian and they stand in front of an audience and do so, I salute them because I know what that is.
Yeah.
But to say that there are some people that I really, really admire and like, man, Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle is a dude that I can watch and just really, really laugh. You know, Louis C.K. That's another funny dude, man. Man, Corey Holcomb, Charlie Murphy, Eddie Griffin, D.L. Hughley.
Yes.
It's just so, I mean, Cedric the Entertainer, there's a lot. I don't know. I'm just a guy that if you make me laugh, I'm with you. It's hard to get me to not like you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's dudes that I don't like in this game, but even when I see them do stand-up, I still got to like say, that was funny. If it's funny, I give it up, you know. But there's just so many, and, you know, guys that a lot of people don't know that I really respect. Like I mentioned him earlier, Freddie Rich. That's this dude out of the Bronx, New York. And that's a guy that every time I see him do stand-up, I say, man, that's something I wish I would have thought of. Wow, why did not, you know, and that's what gets me is when you say something that I say, man, I wish I would have thought of that. I leave it alone. I can't mess with it no more when I see something like that. Right. So it hurts. Like, damn, I wish I would have been talking about whatever the hell they was talking about, but now that I've heard them talk about it, I can't talk about it. I'm ruined because I can't do it better than them. I leave it alone.
Yeah.
So that's how I look.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dudes out there, though. And a lot that I'm thinking of just aren't coming to mind. But if I didn't mention you, don't take offense to it.
Well, all right.
But, you know, some of you comedians that are listening, fuck you. You know what I'm talking to.
That's why I love this, brother. You real, brother. I love it. I love it, man. Let me ask you this, big dog. Any boxer, past, present, or future, who would you say your comedy style is like? If you could pick any boxer, past, present, or future.
Wow, that is an interesting question, man, and I've never thought of it. I would say it's probably like somebody like I don't know, probably like Rocky Marciano, but I would love it to be like Muhammad Ali's.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
But I don't know, man. I don't know. I know for certain that I'm an underdog. I'm on the underdog card.
Right.
Because I've been at it so long, and people are like, "Well, who is this dude? This thing is funny, but I don't know him." I've been out there. I've been in the gym for years and years. I'm just waiting for that big bout. I need that title bout so you can really see who I am, and that's what I'm working on right now. I'm in the process of shooting my first special after 24 years in the game. You know, and people say, you waited too long. I didn't wait too long. I plan on doing this for the rest of my life.
Right.
So I've never put a time on or markers like by 5 years I should have accomplished this. I've never done that. I've did this as a student, and at 24 years in the game, I feel that I'm ready to do my special.
Well, big
brother, and I promise, when it drops, you will know about it. It's gonna be fire.
Big brother.
I don't even want to tell you the name of it yet.
Well, you know what?
It's gonna work.
You know what? I just want to tell you this, man. To the casual comedian listener or comedian fan, yeah, they probably don't know who you is. But people that's on the grind like myself, who study people, who's in it deep, man, we know who you are. You a celeb, man. You a star. Brother, you a star.
Yeah.
I listen to you every week on the 5150 show, and if it don't drop that week, I'm like, yo, what's going on? What's going on with Corey, Zoe, Freeze, Darlene? You know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm gonna be real with you, man. I reached out to everybody. You's the first one to hit me back. You's the first one to hit me back.
Oh, wow.
And then Darlene just hit me, so I'm waiting for Corey to hit me. But I just want to tell you this, man. Yo, keep grinding, keep doing what you're doing, because you ain't no sellout. And people know, game recognized game when it comes to this, man, brother. You know.
Right.
I like to circulate myself around strong black men. There's just strong men, period, when it comes to it. So,
well, thank you, brother.
I mean, for me to even be saying this, brother, man, I'm not that type of dude, man. But I just want to tell you, man, keep doing what you're doing, man. God is on your side, and God is gonna make it happen. And ain't nobody stopping you. Nobody's stopping you. Because if that's the case, you would have been done a long time ago.
That's it. That's how I look at it, man. I mean, you know, because to truly be honest, man, am I going to get the big stardom and the big fame and all the big money? I don't know. I may not. But the thing is, it doesn't matter because I'm doing what I set out to do. When I first did stand up, back on that night where Eddie Griffin saw me, I knew right then. I was like, yo, I'm going to do this here until I hit the dirt. I know it. I feel that good about it. And I still feel the same way. So if major success comes, I'm still going to be doing stand-up. If no success comes, I'm still going to be doing stand-up. I'm going to do this. This is what I do. And I love it. And I'll do it. And it's because, you know, hey, man, it's a need for it. People have to step back and laugh at some of this shit. Because if you don't laugh at with a lot of stuff, if you ain't laughing at it, it's going to make you cry. So you got to laugh at it. The stupidity of some of the stuff that's going on right now, the ridiculousness of it. You don't have to let it affect you in a negative way. You can laugh at it. Laugh at it because it is a joke.
Yeah.
And don't worry, because I truly feel that there's a divine plan, and I feel that there's a divine creator. And, hey, we just going to see how all this stuff plays out. And you can do that with a smile, man. The smile goes a lot further than a frown.
Freez, I do want to ask you this, man, because it happens in every sport, every venue, man. But, you know, like in boxing, man, it's very competitive. So, you know, brothers be hating on other brothers, man. But what about the bashing between certain comedians, man? You know, like guys getting at other guys just because they feel like they, you know, they doing well and they may be hating, man. And I know that's not in your persona, man. But you know what do you say to that?
You know, I mean, hey, I thank those dudes. Thank you for being your hateful ass self, because you're the fuel that I burn, baby. I love it. Let the haters hate. That's fuel for the fire. You're not going to convince everybody, and you shouldn't be trying to. Right. You can't please everybody. That's impossible. Please yourself, man. Please the people that care about you and you care about. And with that, when that happens, there's always going to be somebody on the sideline, and you know, all of that, and he ain't this, and why would you do that with them? You wasted your money. You know, that's anything. That's part of business. That's part of life, you know. So you really can't concern yourself with those people, because that'd be concerning yourself with, you know, something that ain't the whole thing. That's just a portion of it.
Right.
That ain't the whole thing of it, you know.
Right.
So you can't focus on it. You just gotta let the haters hate, man, and do you.
Freeze, couple more questions, man.
Yeah.
Like you say, you MC. Let everybody know about the rap group that you got.
Yeah. Man, I got a hell of a rap group called the Killer Whales, baby.
Killer Whales, yes.
Yeah, we rap about the environment, though. We rap about, you know, like how much pollution there is and what we're doing as humans, how humans are tearing up the earth, man. And we got to remember, the earth isn't only ours, man. It's the plants. The earth belongs to the animals. It belongs to us on a whole. Yeah. You know, we're supposed to be the smartest, but we tearing it up.
Yes.
You know, so the group is called the Killer Whales, and we rap all of our, you know, it's a comedy group, but at the same time, we made it out of the love of hip hop and being creative. We just wanted to do something that's not the norm. We wanted to do something that totally left field, but still make it not. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what Killer Whales is. I got some of the dopest producers that have ever done the hip hop beats that have made songs. My man, Big Jeff from What's Up, DJ Broadway from 360 and Label Records. I got my man Ovidio, my man Big June, one of the co-creators of Reggaeton out of New York.
Big ups.
Man, I got some heat. So there's, like I say, the Freez Luv is steadily at work. When you don't see me, know that I'm at work. Please believe. I'm not lying to you. I don't say I'm at work and don't be at work. But I say I'm at work. I'm really working. So I got a lot of stuff I'm about to hit y'all with. This is just such a new day. There's so much stuff that you could do on your own that you don't have to go through people to do. And I love it. So I'm trying to hit it with all kind of stuff. You dig?
Dig. Freeze, one last question, man. Any platforms that you want people to be aware about that we need to follow when it comes to you that's going to be happening in the future, you know, or things that you got going on?
Well, if you could, you know, hit me on Twitter at Freez Luv Comedy, FREEZLUV Comedy, and that's also my Instagram handle. And hit me on Facebook at Killer Whales, KILLAHWHALEZ. And if you follow me on one of those three, then that's going to lead you to everything else I got. I got an app out there you could download too, and I'm about to do a whole big refurbization of the app. Wow. I don't even know if refurbization is a word, but that's what I'm gonna do to that app. I got my nephew on it, who is a computer whiz. You know, I'm from the old school. A calculator is the biggest computer I used to mess with until 2000 something.
Right.
You know,
Freeze.
But you know, I respect the internet, baby. This is one of the best tools we have if we use it correctly.
Right.
You know?
Right. I think I heard something and something about Baggers Collective.
Yeah, the Baggers Collective is in its infancy stages, because what I want to do with that is something that hasn't been done. I'm trying to match real comedians with everyday people and let them bag it off. And what I mean by bagging is, you know, you call it snaps on the East Coast. They call it jonesing in the Midwest.
Yeah.
The West Coast, we call it crumbing, bagging, capping, you know, but that's what it is. I think some of the funniest people in the world are not even in the comedy business. You know, you got some truck drivers and some trash men out there that are funny as hell. you got some waitresses out there that are funny as hell. So I'm trying to create a platform where the professionals meet the so-called amateurs, and let's see who really brings the fun.
No doubt.
So that's what the Baggers Collective is.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it live today with Coach Stokes, from the ring to the concrete, live with my man Freez motherfucking Luv, man. Freez, yo, man, this is such an honor for me, dog. It really is, man. You don't know how many props I'm getting from my homies now. They're like, man, Freez Luv. I mean, everybody. So,
oh,
man,
I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the support, appreciate the love. I appreciate just being interested in the world of comedy, man. Because we comedians, we may fight amongst each other, but I think at the end of the day we respect each other because we know what this is, and we know that at any given time you can catch a bad one, man. They may not laugh at the next show, man. So make your friends now and keep them.
Well, yo, man, I hope that this is a friendship that we definitely can continue, man. Because like I told you, I'll be down in LA next month, man. So I definitely would love to get some work in with you, man. Definitely.
Man, please do. And remember, every Thursday, starting this Thursday, day after tomorrow, at 665 North Heliotrope Drive, which is in East Hollywood, is where Melrose meets Heliotrope. That's about 3 blocks west of Vermont. But every week I do a show that starts at 10 p.m. It's a late night Thursday show, but we're trying to get the weekend started with laughter and get you in that, so that Friday ain't as long as it normally is. We're trying to laugh you up, send you to work, and have you out there keeping that laughter going throughout your whole weekend. So every Thursday,
no doubt.
And the show is called Pure Fool Comedy Show.
No doubt. I'm gonna have hit yours, and I'm gonna have hit my man. Garrett Dixon.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he has. He's a comedian, but he has a barbershop in North Hollywood.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, my man.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him since I've been back out here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so
okay.
I touched on with him when I come down there, but definitely, without a doubt, man, we definitely gonna link up. We definitely gonna link up, my brother.
Man, well, thank you so much, Coach, man, and to all the young boxers out there, man, hit them hard, baby. Hit them hard. Stand your ground and throw them punches. Don't stop till the bell rings, man.
One love. Hey, Freez, I'm gonna get off.
One love.
I'll meet you right back right quick, all right?
Okay, my brother.
All right, peace.